We're one day away from the biggest fight of Amir Khan's life against Canelo Alvarez. And going into such a big fight, you would imagine that he don't even want to comment on other fighters too much. But if you know Amir Khan, you know there's one fighter in particular that he just cannot help talking about. And not even in the lead up to this fight. That's right. Floyd Mayweather is all up in Khan's mouth once again. Now, to be 100% fair, I don't know how the subject of Floyd Mayweather was raised with Amir Khan, how the journalists raised it, because journalists can be, you know, deliberately provocative and whatnot. Maybe Khan took the bait, but in my view, all Khan should be doing going into this fight with Canelo, if people are asking him about Floyd and Pacquiao, he should be telling them, I don't want to speak about them. I'm just thinking about Canelo. I'm not answering no questions about Mayweather, no questions about Pacquiao. I'm just going to think about Canelo. But no, Khan can't do that. He has to talk about Floyd Mayweather. So I'm going to quote him here from this article. He apparently told this to Press Association Sport. He said, "Do I want to fight Floyd Mayweather with all the messing around he's given me? He messed me around a lot, so I don't think I'd take that fight. He messed me around, so I'd probably treat him the same way. Floyd's probably missing not having his picture on the MGM. He must see my picture and Canelo's picture and think, people have forgotten about me. As soon as you say you're retired, we do forget about the people who say that. Mayweather's feeling that now. He's feeling like no one is talking about him, that he's old news, and maybe that's why he's trying to get everyone supporting him, again saying, I want to make a comeback. Whatever Mayweather says, let him say it. If you look at my career financially, I think it's one of the best careers any fighter's had. I could stop now and I'd be very happy with my whole career. Boxing's a business and I've got a great team around me who have been looking after me in that sense. My team's done a great job with me. They've put me in the right direction. I've been around since 2004 in the Olympics. We're still going strong. We're still going strong now in 2016. My family have been great. My team's been amazing. They've kept me on the right track. I was looking at the Mayweather fight. I was looking at the Pacquiao fight and it didn't happen. I'm fighting now against Canelo, where it's a huge fight. I've always wanted to be in big fights like this. So to be fair to Khan, yeah, he is still talking about Floyd. He's got Floyd's name all up in his mouth. And he's still very spiteful, obviously there. Still very bitter about the way Floyd treated him. And that's understandable. When a fighter messes you around, like Chisora was very upset with the Klitschko's, the way he was messed around by Vladimir first time around. So it's understandable that he'd be spiteful, but Khan took it to the extreme in stalking Mayweather. You know, he was just, he was like a stalking ex-girlfriend. That's how Khan was. He was like Stan. You know, people have been making memes about that, about how Khan is like Stan in that Eminem song. And that's really what he was like with Mayweather, just constantly never stopped talking about Floyd Mayweather, never stopped talking about wanting to fight him. Bizarre. But I guess that is indicative of Amir Khan's personality. Amir Khan is a very determined man. That's one thing I can tell you about him. He's got tremendous determination, Amir Khan. That's why he is where he is, despite his shortcomings as a fighter. He's only in the position he's in now, being rich and successful and what have you, because of the fact that he's very determined. So that determination kind of spilled over into stalkish behavior, you know, stalkerish behavior when it comes to Floyd Mayweather. Now, he says that if he was to beat Canelo, he would reject a Mayweather fight or mess him around. I mean, again, that's kind of an insight into Amir Khan's ego, because he's assuming here, or he believes that should he beat Canelo, it's going to put him, what, on the same level as Mayweather? It's going to make him that much of a superstar? Really? He wouldn't be anywhere near the level of a Mayweather. Not even close. He'd be a bigger star. Don't get it twisted by beating Canelo, depending on the nature of the win. But come on, he wouldn't be at the top of anybody's pound for pound list. Even though he seems to think that he would, he wouldn't be. So Floyd probably wouldn't want to fight him anyway. Unless Khan kept hold of the middleweight title, which is going to be difficult to do because I'm sure he won't get the kind of leeway that Canelo got being WBC middleweight champion. I'm sure the WBC would force Khan to take that Golovkin fight ASAP and wouldn't allow him no voluntaries. So, you know, I just think that Khan is, I don't want to say delusional because I've used that word about Khan so many times, but I don't think he's being realistic about where he would be in the game of boxing should he beat Canelo Alvarez. I don't think Floyd would be clamoring to fight him. He won't have a middleweight title belt for very long. So what would Floyd Bennett, how would he gain from beating a Khan? Now, one thing Khan did say in that interview, or one thing that he alluded to, is that Floyd loves the limelight and he loves being a center of attention. And I absolutely believe that to be the case. Particularly in the kind of circles that Floyd Mayweather moves in. Mayweather moves in illustrious circles with extremely successful rappers, recording artists, other sportsmen, basketball players, football players, high-level businessmen, etc., etc. Those are the kind of circles that Mayweather mixes in. Now, mixing in those kind of circles, his money don't mean that much because there are a lot of other people that have money. And I think Floyd Mayweather does like the limelight and the adulation, maybe more so than other fighters because of his insecurities. At the end of the day, Mayweather is, what, 5'8"? He's a little guy. You know, if you see Floyd Mayweather, it's not a big imposing person. He's a little short guy. A little short, slim guy. So when he's in that world with all these other celebrities who he socializes with, basketball players, you know, musicians who are all a lot bigger than him and what have you, I guess he must look at those guys and think, you know what, I wish I was a bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a rabbit and a hat and a... Shout out to everyone who knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, on that level, I think being around those kind of people, Floyd Mayweather does maybe feel a little insecure about his small stature because the kind of people they attract are Floyd Mayweather, you know, all these groupies and people like that. These people are not really sports fans, most of them. They're just regular people who are just attracted to a celebrity, you know? They don't really care what a celebrity does. They just see people around them and they're attracted. So when Mayweather's comparing himself to all the other celebrities, he probably does have some insecurities there, and a way of trying to deal with that insecurity and feed his own ego is to always be in the limelight in boxing and to be making comments about people like Conor McGregor and all that type of stuff. I think he really needs that type of adulation, Mayweather. I really think, you know, maybe Amir Khan's actually onto something there. But then again, maybe Amir Khan needs it too. Boxing, I don't want to say all fighters are like this because that's completely not true. But there's certainly a lot of fighters who are very ego-driven. Some of them borderline narcissistic. They need constant praise all the time. And maybe Floyd's like that. Maybe Khan's a little bit like that. Anyway, it's an interesting comments from Khan. Still talking about Floyd Mayweather. Do I think Amir Khan would really reject a Mayweather fight? No way in hell would Khan reject a Mayweather fight. And if he intends to mess Mayweather around, and you know, if Khan at the moment is thinking he wouldn't fight Mayweather, if he were to beat Canelo, he would soon discover that he's not seen as being as good as Mayweather. And that would, I think, motivate him to want to fight Mayweather still. And if he's talking about messing Mayweather around, that's not something you announce before, you know, before it's happened. Mayweather didn't say, well, I'm going to mess Amir Khan around publicly. He didn't say that. So you don't tell the guy what you're going to do before you do it, because then he'll be ready for it and he won't even try and negotiate a fight with you. So it is what it is. But again, to Amir Khan's credit, even though he is fighting somebody that Floyd's already beat, you could say his leftovers. To his credit, though, the fight in a Canelo is kind of building his own legacy, separate from Mayweather. So, particularly at this weight of 155, which is heavier than Mayweather fought Canelo at. So, and even though there was apparently no rehydration clause for the Mayweather-Canelo fight, I personally am not sure about it, because I remember Canelo coming into that fight way lighter than he normally comes into the ring for fights. I think he came into the Mayweather fight on fight night like 163 or 164, very, very light for Canelo. I know he had to cut down to 152, but still, only going up to 162, 163 or whatever it was, that's way, 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 way light for Canelo. So I suspect, despite what they were saying publicly, there may actually have been a rehydration clause for that Mayweather-Canelo fight. But for this fight here with Khan Canelo, there is apparently no rehydration clause. And if Canelo's coming into the ring, if he even allows HBO to weigh him, and he's coming into the ring way over 170 pounds, then we'll know that there really wasn't any rehydration clause. So I guess it all remains to be seen. I'll be doing a couple more videos about Khan Canelo. I just wanted to give my thoughts about Khan's comments on Mayweather, his latest comments. All right? Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about everything I talked about in this video. It's your boy Hatman. I'm out.